Do you guys remember what happened to Madugu last time? All his brothers received Jesus because they heard the story of the wordless book from Madugu. And that was really exciting, but now all his brothers wanted a piece of the wordless book. And Madugu, he just couldn't do that. He said, "No, the missionaries gave the book to me. I can't cut it up."
Do you think Madugu's brothers chopped up his talking book? Well, Madugu tucked the wordless book safely under the blanket on the floor. He thought about the wonderful time he had spent with the missionaries. "The book is mine," he told himself. "They gave it to me." But deep inside, Madugu felt troubled. He remembered what Mr. Delahaye had said. "You can use the book to tell the story in your village." Tell the story in my village, Madugu thought. What would Jesus want me to do? Madugu carefully reached under the blanket and pulled out the book. What if he did cut it? He asked himself. Holding his fingers near the edge of the book, he measured to see how big each piece would be. So small! He knew his sharp hunting knife could cut the pages, but how could he do that to his beautiful talking book? That night, Madugu didn't sleep much. He felt bad inside. What should I do? He kept praying, but deep inside, Madugu knew the answer. While it was still a little dark outside, Madugu got up. Grabbing his book and his hunting knife, he headed outdoors. Madugu knelt in the grass beside a stump of an old tree. "Lord Jesus," he prayed, "help me be willing to cut this book." In his heart, he knew it was the right thing to do, but why was it so hard? Just then he heard the sound of shouting boys. His brothers came running with little Basu tugging behind. Oh no, Madugu thought. Why now? He watched as they stopped nearby. They didn't say anything. All three of the boys, even little Basu, just stood there and watched. Madugu wished they would go away. "Lord Jesus," he prayed, "please help me." But the boys just kept watching. Madugu finally laid his book on the flattest part of the tree stump. Madugu's brothers came near to watch as he raised his hunting knife. For a minute he stood holding it in the air. Then he pressed the sharp blade against the beautiful colors. Slowly the book split in two. Once more Madugu cut his talking book. Now it lay in 4 pieces on the stump. His brothers stood still. They seemed to know how he felt. Madugu picked up one little stack and handed it to Benho. Benho took it carefully. Madugu handed out the second and third stacks to Kuma and Basu. "Our mother will sew the edges," Madugu said. Nobody smiled. The 3 brothers held the pieces quietly in their hands. "A clean heart should be happy to share," Madugu's heart kept telling him. "The Lord Jesus," he prayed, "help me be happy about this." His own part of the book lay on the stump. A light breeze moved the pages, and the white one showed. It was as clean as ever. Suddenly something wonderful happened to Madugu. A smile spread over his face, and he picked up the part of the book. "It doesn't matter if it's little," he said. "Now we have 4 talking books. Now we can all tell the story." As he said this, it seemed as if the Lord Jesus was right beside him, cheering him on. Madugu's brothers began to laugh. They waved their books and jumped for joy. Madugu watched for a moment, then began jumping with them. He never felt so happy.
What about you? Will you tell people about Jesus? Because if you want to know how to do that, then you can ask anybody who works here at Good News Club, and they can even show you maybe how to use the wordless book to tell people about Jesus. But the thing is, you can't share the story about Jesus if you don't have Jesus yourself. If you have never received Jesus and asked him to make your heart clean, then you can talk to anyone who works here at Good News Club, and they can help you know how to receive Jesus. And that is the story of Madugu.